Welcome to Columbus, Ohio. The North American Auto Club's freight train convenes to the Bummin Beaver Brewery 300 at the Ohio Motor Speedway, the second shortest circuit this season. Let's just jump right into it. Taking the pole position is Lucy Barton, with Corbin Dempsey taking second place while Mac Hanley takes a solid third place. As a matter of fact, this is the third time he gets a top 5 qualifying bonus this season. Chris Benson backs up his top 3 finish last time in Bristol with a 4th place start, showing S2 Motorsports is packing heat with their veterans up front, while rookie Vernon Hargrove had to settle for 34th place in qualifying in a session where just nothing went right to the 2018. Thomas Ducker finished qualifying in 5th place, making it 2 straight starts inside the top 5 for the number 9 crew, while Brad Finley, Charlie Faulkner, and last week's winner in a barn burner of a finish, Luke Pellerin, closed the top 8. Ben Makowski, who just got himself at the minimum threshold to contest Rookie of the Year, has found himself failing to qualify, together with a couple of other big teams, such as Taylor Molnar, who was unable to get into the show with the Zack Tech number 30, which is a massive blow to that team's intention to secure 2 provisional berths, while Chris Sendicott continues to struggle in qualifying for Overton Motorsports, and Ashley Jolly is unable to time her way in on the Shield 79. This is going to be a 300-lap race, and due to the small track size, below half a mile, we do expect pit stops to only happen in the last third of this event. Though being a short track, the beating and banging will take its toll on panels and above all else the tires, so conserving what you got may be the key to gaining big in this race. Of course, as you look at the track information, you can see the difference in banking between straights and turns is of only 2 degrees, which makes this track essentially flat to drive around, given the banking itself is very minute, even in the corners. Looking at the weather, the skies have quite a few clouds around, but no chance of rain at all, which means we will have to deal with this race from start to finish, though the southern breeze rolling in will make this far more bearable in terms of heat. Let's go trackside. Leading the field to the green once again in this season is Lucy Barton. On her outside, Corbin Dempsey, Mac Hanley, and Chris Benson sharing row number 2. The green flag is out, and Lucy, already off to a great start, clears the 81 and runs away with that first spot. She's already gone. What a start by the 98, but here comes the 18. By the time we get to the second lap, Thomas Tucker following him along. The 18 takes second, the 9 takes third, and they already run away with those positions. Ryan Faulkner currently running in 8th in the middle of the wars. There you see Kate Taylor, there you see Boyd Abbott, there you see Brett Finlay. Then you see Chris Benson falling behind because he's not on the preferred line, which is the outside. In the back of the field, you have his teammate, Vernon Hargrove, having a terrible time. He is straight up not having a good time right there, alongside Lucas Calhoun and Dan Wright. Scott Overton currently running in 24th place after having a very good result in Bristol, and 23rd place was just not what he was expecting. Right behind him you see Creeper Stevenson and Joey Anderson. By the time we get to lap number 7, you can see the gap that Lucy Barton has created. She has been very well acclimated to this track early. On lap number 12, you have a 4 wide Ronnie Samples, Joey Anderson, Creeper Stevenson, Hibiki Murata, and Joey Anderson on the wall. Ronnie Samples gets sent around, and that's the first yellow of the race. They got in a 4 wide. Samples got sent over to the outside. Then the 03, the 420, and the 52 got together, and then the 7 just got sent around as a reaction. Quite a bit of trouble. We get the restart on lap number 19, and Barton already sorts it out. Remember, on short tracks, we restart on single file. When the short track is a dirt track, the lap cars stay on the same line as the leaders. If not, they actually drop to the back, and that's why Kristen Young and Ethan Collins actually jumped the restart, and they have to serve a stop and go. Ashley Richardson, she finished second, a heartbreaking result for her in Bristol. 0.04 of a second almost ended her winless streak, and she was not able to break it. You see Becky Pellerin, the True Earnest Loose Racing Cars, the 34 to 43, running right there, 17th, 18th, 19th. Scott Overton worked his way up to 20th place, and he chases down Becky Pellerin as we enter lap number 23. By the time we reach lap number 28, there goes Lucy Barrington to lap the 420. That's the first car to be lapped on the green flag condition. Ronnie Samples went to the pits to fix some of the damage in those panels of that car after those contacts and lost up quite a bit of time, but he's still running in 34th place. Merges back. Oh, that could have been much, much worse. It wasn't. That's good. He keeps it steady. The 18 about to lap him on the outside. Charlie Faulkner now finding himself in third. Jamal Schmidt running in 4th place. They're battling for position. Joey Anderson also to the pits to fix some of that damage. And the 85 is going to try to use the 7 as a pick, but the 18 is going to use the 7 as a pick. And now you have a situation where both are using the 7 as a pick. One to keep the second position, the other to pass for second place. In the back of the field, you see Warren Majeski, Ruby Carson. They make contact on the outside. That could have ended much worse than it did. Brett Finley into the back of the number 1, 3 wide. As they come to turn number 1, the 77 and the 1 make contact. The 43 is involved, and that's the second caution of the race. And Warren Majeski, he got put in a bad position, and he suffered for it and involved Ruby Carson in it. You saw the lifeline, a lot of cars back on the lead lap after this green flag run. Green flag's out by the time we get to lap number 45, and Lucy Barrington once again leading away, leading with a gap, not showing any quarter as Jamal Schmidt catching up with Charlie Faulkner also right behind the 55. Without lap cars to bother them, they are now nose to tail. In this restart, Barton was not able to open the gap as the laps went on. And Becky Pellerin to the pits, and she's to the pits with an engine issue. She's reporting, and that is not good at all for the 27 crew. She's gonna drop far, far, far behind the 8 ball. That's exactly not what she needed for her championship hopes. Chris Benson currently running in 4th place with Mac Henley in 5th. That's True Motorsports having a very good showing up front. As you see the 27 coming out of the pits after losing a couple of laps. Thomas Tucker right there closing the top 5. Kirk Jones currently running in 24th, which is a better result than we have given him credit for in the rest of the season. Mega McDonald there in 25th. Ruby Carson, despite the damage, still running up there in 26th. Back of the field, but could have been further back. Allison Smith used the lifeline to her benefit. She's now in 21st place. Vernon Hargrove also using it to his benefit. He's 22nd ahead of Caitlin Richler. They're using the cautions to their benefit, gaining positions, gaining time. As the field bunches up, they get a lot of positions by being quick on the trigger. Caitlin Richler there makes the move on the inside of the 28, and she's the one that's quick on the trigger. She's going to get the 22nd spot as Allison Smith's chasing down Lucas Calhoun for 20th place. Lee Schmidt into the pits on lap number 55. Just so much damage to the front of the 43. He's unable to fend it off, to fight that car. It started to get out of his hands, and he's forced to go into the pits. Barton continues to lead by the time we reach lap number 59. She's chasing down the 7 off Ronnie Samples, the 420 off Creeper Stevenson. Jamal Schmidt unable to gain much more than what he has gained so far. We open lap number 6 and the 0 off 300. So we are 2/10 into this event. Vernon Hargrove to the pits. Problems with the engine of the 28 as well. And he goes in, and he goes down from 22nd place. He pits. Ruby Carson currently running in 26th place, dropping behind, and now she's the one car about to be lapped by the 98. Allison Smith right up ahead in 25th. She lost a couple of positions, but it's been the hustle and bustle and the moving around of this track. You have to manage the lap cars, you have to manage the other cars on track, and that creates a lot of difficulty, and that's how you gain and you lose position in this track. As you see, Lucy Barton making the move on the inside. Carson does not concede. That's a problem. That is a loss of time. Allison Smith gives the outside. Carson hasn't made a move yet, and that puts Jamal Schmidt right into the back of the 98. He's gonna try to force a space in as they come to the front straight away to open lap number 68. 55 trying to make something happen. Not enough. Not enough at all. But Barton stuck behind the 77. She finally makes the move as you ride with the rear end camera of the 201. And Lucy Martin finally gets past the 77. But now she has to contend with the number 200. And Allison Smith, very courteous, leaves the lane open. And there goes the 98. And there goes the 55. See, it's not that hard. Ashley Richardson currently running in the 10th position as we enter lap number 69, battling with Brett Finley and Bobby Savage. Finley's gonna make a dive. Not enough. Not enough. Addison Smith Ashley Richardson retains the position, but he's gonna make the move on the inside of turn number 2, and there he goes. Becky Pellerin, by fixing the engine, she also chose to change the tires, which means she's much faster than the rest of the field. By the time we get to lap number 71, you'll see up ahead of them Kate Taylor in the Luke Star 25. The Luke Star 88 is in 8th place, and the Luke Star 27 is down in the 30s. Joey Anderson right there in 33rd place, about to be lapped by the 28 of Vernon Hargrove, having a hard time after that big contact, that first caution. He goes off wide into the wall. Contact, Boyd Abbott into the pits on lap number 78, coming to lap number 79. He's gonna try an undercut, and if this works, he doesn't have to pit for the rest of the race. So Boyd Abbott's staking, and he's staking it now. That's his bet. We'll have to see if it pays off. He comes into the pits very slowly. Peter Johnson, currently running in 34th place, also goes to the pits. But at this point, there's just no need to fight it out. Just pit now. Get the lifelines you can if this race has enough cautions, and maybe you can be back on the lead lap. Just make sure to not pit again. By the time we get to lap 87, Joey Anderson into the back of the 420 of Creeper Stevenson. Joey Anderson stopped on track, and that's another caution. You ride with Joey Anderson, and he just completely missed the corner, tagged the rear end of the 420, and that was that. You see the list of lapped cars as Lucy Martin leads the field to the green once again. By the time we reach lap number 95, the lifeline ends up making these cautions a little bit more longer than we would wish, but it's a procedure that is fair to do with the lap cars in these short tracks. A lot of races devolve into lap car management. For example, Lucy Martin lapped the whole field in Jukasa last year. I was gonna use the old track name, which was Cayuga. As you see, Boyd Abbott and Peter Johnson jumped the restart, and they have to pit. So Boyd Abbott's stake and try did not work, and he gets tagged by Luke Pellerin, merging back on track. That's the 4th caution of the race. 100 laps in. That was a questionable move by both parts. The 99 came up way too soon. The 88 just came down way too soon. Both knew the other was there. Both did not care. Lucy Martin leads the field once again. This caution is much quicker due to the fact that we had the field mostly lined up. So we only have 4 laps of yellow. And there goes Creeper Stevenson and Peter Johnson. They make contact on the restart. The 69 spins around, but we get no caution because he gets back going before the 98 even hits turn 3. So there was just no need for a yellow. Boyd Abbott, after coming out of the pits to serve his penalty properly, finds the 99, and Joey Anderson jumps the restart. This race has been a disaster for the old 3. I have no idea what they're doing. Tonight, I have no idea what they're doing. Scott Overton to the pits as well, but this time it is for tires. Tire down on the 62. He pits for the damage incurred, and merge, watch out, contact. All 3 and 88 make contact. What are we doing here? Luke, what are you doing, buddy? That just cost you the 7th position. There goes Corbin Dempsey. There goes Kate Taylor. And here comes Ryan Faulkner. So you played yourself on that one, buddy. You played yourself on that one. Bobby Savage joins the fray as well. And Bobby Savage there going for the 9th spot. Well, Ryan Faulkner and Bobby Savage going for the 9th spot, as now Luke Pellerin stuck on the outside out of his own volition. He chose to get together with Joey Anderson. That gave a whole lane for the cars behind him. That's what he gets. By the time we open lap number 112, Lucy Barton has caught Boyd Abbott once again. Boyd Abbott with that damage, just his race is, I'm not gonna say it's done because things can always happen. You never know if you're gonna have a 20 car crash on a short track. You never know. But his chances of winning so far are very low, as the 55 uses the 69-43 in the 16 as a pick, and we finally get a new race leader. Jamal Schmidt bit his time, paid attention, saw the opening, and made use of it. That's the first lead change of this race. Charlie Faulkner going for second place, Chris Benson going for third, Thomas Tucker going for fourth, but Tucker is a little bit too further behind to make that happen. However, Barton is in a bad line. She's not in the good surface of this concrete speedway, and that's gonna open the door for Thomas Tucker to actually make the move as the 55 laps the 69, and whoa, 43 and 16 getting together, almost causing a crash in front of the leader, who, by the way, is the brother of the driver of the 43, Lee Schmidt and Jamal Schmidt. Do not forget that. But Ethan Collins goes wide into the wall, and a bad race gets compounded. He's in 27th spot, getting lapped by everyone else. He gets, well, essentially now passed for position by the 99, who also is multiple laps down. By the time we get to lap number 125, Jamal Schmidt continues to lead, and now he has a couple of lapped cars padding the gap between him and Charlie Faulkner. You see there the 7, the 52, I think the 71's up there as well. The 28's going to be up there as well. Ashley Richardson, Bobby Savage battling for the 11th spot. Brett Finley in the wars with them. The 51, of course, Bobby Savage, his teammate. Brett Finley won Bristol last year, but was unable to recapture the magic this season, so he's trying to at least gain a few more consistent results. Someone who's having a very good result so far is Kendra Brittany after a very difficult race in Bristol last weekend. She's running a 14th. That's a very good result for her. Ruby Carson currently running a 17th, about to pass the 59 on Lucas Calhoun, but she's not going to have enough mojo to get it done. Tammy Barton currently running in 15th place, which is a very good result for her Rookie of the Year chances. It's not a perfect result. She would preferably have Kendra Brittany behind her, but you take the wins you can get. Becky Pellerin with those new tires scorching through the field. She's now up to the 20th position, unlapping herself and passing the cars that she unlaps. Ethan Collins in 27th place, still not having a good time. Emerges into the inside of the 50 of Brett Finley and wipes out the 51 of Bobby Savage. Oh my god, Ethan, rookie mistake. He committed to the pit so late. Brett Finley had no choice, and Bobby Savage was an unwilling witness to this move. And that is, let's watch it again. Oh my lord. Eesh. What were you trying there, buddy? What were you trying there? And tire problems for Tammy Barton. That tire not only blows up, the wheel gets stuck to the rim gets stuck to the frame of the car, and that means she's done for the afternoon. Allison Smith stayed on the lead lap, and she chooses to undercut the field. She pits on lap 136. She will no longer have to stop. That's another bat. Let's see if she has more luck than Boyd Abbott. And we are Joey, what are you doing? What are you doing, Joey? You're not supposed to line up on the outside like that, Joey. Thomas Tucker ends up losing a little bit of time, but losing a lot of times Lucy Barton. But the 9 catching up. The old 3 on the outside. Wide again. Almost hits the wall. That could have been much worse than it is. 35 laps in. The officials are obviously investigating this, but he's 35th and he lined up 3rd. That's not correct. That's the furthest possible from correct. And there we go. Are you surprised? I'm not. I'm not surprised at all. This race has been if Joey Edison made a good impression in the first few races, this time around he's just making a fool out of himself. This has been beyond disastrous for him. Lucy Barrington passes Thomas Tucker for the second position finally, and now she stakes her claim for the lead of the race. Ruby Carson has worked her way forward to 13th place after repairing some of the rear damage of that car under the last couple of cautions. She's gaining positions by the dozen, but she's making it piecemeal. I think she wants to figure out in the finish instead of going all out so early and then just petering out. That's a problem. Caitlin Richler into the pits from 21st place. That's a pit cycle stop. She's gonna pit for fuel and of course pull a couple of panels there. You see the damage on the side of that car, the right side of that car, very much in damage. Luke Pellerin continues to run in 7th place, chasing down the 18 of McKinley and thus 8 of Chris Benson. But they are building such a large gap, it's been very hard. Kirk Jones currently running in 21st place, gets a tag from the 43, a little love tap, and the 69 sees that chance to make a 3 wide. There goes Peter Johnson. Kirk Jones gets tagged by Boyd Abbott. The officials throw the caution when they saw the 32 lose control. That's another yellow flag, and now Jamal Schmidt leads the field to the green. Lucy Barrington right behind him, trying to make the move happen, trying to get space to take the lead of the race, but it is not enough so far. Not enough as we open lap number 168. And Creeper Stevenson tagged by his teammate Peter Johnson, who involves Joey Anderson in it. Oh my lord, what was even that? What was even that? Look at that. Creeper Stevenson got together with Brad Philly, spun around, the 69 got involved, tried to save the car, and the way he saved it was by sending the 03 up the wall. Kendra Brittany pits with 140 laps to go. Well, at least she has completed 141 laps. And she pits from 22nd place. Chris Benson and Mac Henley in with 130 laps to go as the pit cycle continues. You see Ryan Faulkner also pitting up there. And then you see there Peter Johnson, obviously the damage. Ronnie Samples, obviously the damage. But right now, we're about to open lap 175 of 300. And Jamal Schmidt blew up. Jamal Schmidt blew up. How does that even happen? How do you predict something like this? Jamal Schmidt, the one driver that was posing a threat to Lucy Barton, ends up blowing up on the restart. We get the restart waved off. You saw the flagger there with the green flag, switching it back to the yellow flag. And that is the 7th caution of this race, getting extended for even more laps because they're now going to have to clean the track because the 55 is spewing oil all over it. Oil all on the inside line. Gonna have to clean that. Gonna have to clean all that. He just stunk it up. Now you're gonna have to clean all that. And Jamal Schmidt, from a position of undeniable power, finds himself with nothing to show for it as he blows up from the first position on lap 171, which was supposed to be the restart lap. Lucy Barton is the new leader of this race with the 9 chasing her down. The 52 now is choosing to go to the pits. She's also gonna undercut the field to a lesser extent than the people that already undercut it. And there she goes after doing a splash. The green flag is out. And we have around 122 years, something like that. 122 laps to the end of this race. This race has gone on for a little while now. We're an hour and 15 minutes in. So do apologize for calling it 122 years. Luke Pellerin now back in the 4th position, chasing down Charlie Faulkner and Thomas Tucker being chased down by Corbin Dempsey. Becky Pellerin with the lifelines. She now finds herself in 8th place. Kate Taylor up in the wall from the 7th spot. From the 6th spot, that opens the gap for Rick Carson to take 7th. Allison Smith, because of the undercut and the lifelines, is now up to 10th place, passing Mega McDonald for that position. What a move by the driver of the 200. Only on her 2nd start, she's already showing a very notable prowess I do wonder if with a better car, what she could be doing with a better car. She's doing it very well here. There you see Mac Haley running in 14th place with Chris Benson. They pitted, ended up falling behind. And they're chasing down Riley McKee and Kristen Young to see what they can do with them. Kirk Jones now running in 17th place thanks to that caution, which allowed him to stay a couple laps ahead. Thomas Tucker still running in second, still chasing the leader down. 185 out of 300. Lucy Barton continues to open a gap. Charlie Faulkner continues to fight for the third position, doing his own thing. Corbin Dempsey running in 5th place, still trying to chase down Luke Pellerin, who's still trying to chase down the Senate. So it's been a hard race. A lot of calculations happening about when can I pit? How can I pit? Do I pit under yellow? Do I stake my claim on a green flag pit stop? Lucas Calhoun, 9th place, passed by Allison Smith. Now Allison Smith's in 9th. Another very important advance by the driver of the 200, the Flat Cola 200. Ashley Richardson has fallen behind to 22nd place after doing a couple of movies, which meant not a couple of movies, a couple of moves to the pits. I'm having a good day today. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. So she's running on a train with a 43 and a 15 as the 98 about to lap the number 52 by the time we reach lap number 193, and the 98 has caught, the 97 has caught 2 more lappers in the 71 and the 7, Dan Wright and Ronnie Samples, 98 all over their backs, trying to make the gap wider and wider and wider. She's probably gonna try to lap the field again. By the time we get to 100 laps to go, you see Lucy Barton and you see the gap until we get the second place there. Did you see it? Yeah, it took a while. It took a long while. Lucy Barton is completely dominating this race so far. The only driver that could put up a front against her, which was Jamal Schmidt, is done for the afternoon. So this is Lucy Barton's race to lose. Allison Smith now making a move on the series champion on her second start. The moxie of this woman is to be admired. What a move by Allison Smith, as Mac Haley currently running in 10th place. Chris Benson running in 11th behind the author of our love triangle so far, Kendra Brittany and Kristen Young running in 21st and a few laps down. There goes Brittany on the outside. Makes the move, nails it perfect, and she drops back into the inside. Lucy Barton continues to lead the way as we enter the last 95 laps of the proceedings so far, chasing down the 51 of Bobby Savage, chasing down the 26 of Kendra Brittany, and less cars stay on the lead lap. More and more cars fall a second lap down. That means when the crunch time comes, we're gonna have way fewer cars contending for the win than we initially anticipated under this system. As Lucy Barton having a shot on the inside, she's taking her time, she's taking her care. She knows she can stake that claim way later if she so wishes. But she's giving bumps, she's making moves, and there she goes on the inside of the 98. And now you see the rear camera angle of the 98 as she clears the 26 and the 51. And you see how Charlie Faulkner so far back there, lapping the 42 of Creeper Simonson, the 99. Avoid that, but he's so far back, battling with Thomas Tucker for that second spot. Tucker on the outside, Faulkner on the inside. Faulkner gaining the upper hand on the entrance of the turns, but on the exits, it's Tucker who gains the power. But they're keeping it together. They're fighting very honorably. A very leveled fight for the first position, as you have Corbin Dempsey still closing out the top 5 by a fair distance, by a fair mile to the 4th place car. As you see, he's currently stuck behind the 32 of Kirk Jones. His teammate, Ruby Carson, the 77, right there in 6th place. And you see there, Allison Smith running in what? In 7th place. Mega McDonald wide on lap 215. And that is unlike the very consistent, if not that up there, Mega McDonald we have seen. Just unusual moment. This track's very hard to drive on. What a bump and run by Ryan Faulkner. He's running in 12th place. He just gave Hibiki Murata a bump and run to lap her as he's trying to catch the cars that are ahead. You see there's a conga line ahead of him, so he's hustling to catch. Ashley Richardson currently running in 16th, about to be lapped by Lucy Barton, who already lapped Ethan Collins once again. You see the 2012 Riley McKee also about to be lapped. Brett Finley also about to be lapped. Charlie Faulkner about to lap Mega McDonald. There you see their 4th place. Luke Pellerin, who is trying to chase down Thomas Tucker for the 3rd spot. He has Vernon Hargrove between him and Tucker. He's trying to do his best. Chris Benson, after finishing 3rd in Bristol, running a 9th here in Ohio. Kate Taylor goes wide, and now Chris Benson's running an 8th. A very solid run as McHinley now currently running in 11th place, chasing down Becky Pellerin. Becky Pellerin, who has now recovered, still running in 10th place, chasing down Kate Taylor, who's running in 9th. And McHinley having a very solid run so far as we reach lap number 224. There goes Creeper Stevenson. Contact with a 34. Big hit. No caution. They keep it going. They keep it at speed. They keep it on the outside. The leaders pass them through, but that's a lot of damage on the front end of the 34. Racing. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. The 8 and the 18. What have they done there? Oh my lord, McHenley just ran too hard. That car just bottomed out, and the 2 leading S2 Motorsports cars just wiped each other out on lap 228 during a lengthy green flag run right in front of Becky Pellerin, who almost got involved in that. That could have been so much more. Uh-oh! Uh-oh! Oh no! Oh no! The 98 stalling! There's problems on the 98. Lucy Barton stalled. Thomas Tucker goes to the pits. I don't know who's the leader anymore. Look, Beller is supposed to go to take the lead, but he also pits. He also concedes the lead. And he takes too long, so he's gonna have to wait for the whole line to go through before the field cycles out. So, Charlie Faulkner's the, we're lining up wrong there. What are we doing? What are we doing? What is McHenley doing up? What is Ruby Carson? That's a jump. That's a jump. That's a jump. That's an improperly lined up car. Allison Smith right there. Allison Smith second. She's gonna... Oh my lord. Okay, Ruby Carson takes the lead. I think. No, she's a lap down. No, she's a lap down. What? Oh no, she's on the lead lap. That's a jump. She jumped. McHenley recovered the lap because he... Oh my Jesus Christ. Tire down on the 85. He has to pit. He has to pit. And now Riley McKee has to pit because he doesn't have enough fuel. Riley McKee pits. The 77 is under investigation. The 18 is under investigation. The 98 finally comes out of the pits. 98 under investigation. Contact! And that's another caution. Ruby Carson in the wall. And the investigation's still ongoing. We're gonna ride together with Ruby Carson. 22 and... Oh my... This is unraveling. 60 laps to go and this is completely unraveling. And the 18 is penalized. And the 77 is penalized. Improper restart positioning. That is on those 2. Charlie Faulkner to the pits. Lost a couple of laps. That puts Allison Smith in first. Becky Pellerin recovers all the way to second. Ryan Faulkner is now third. The running order is completely upended. The undercut by the 200 worked, and the trouble that the 27 had on the engine worked in her favor. The field's lining up for the restart. The safety base car lights are off. Base car's now off. The field is now in control of Allison Smith, who is leading her first career laps in her second career start. She's gonna have 52 laps to go, and the green flag is out. She leads, and she gets a good jump on Becky Pellerin. Becky Pellerin is unable to make something happen. And as you see there, now the message from Race Control appears on your screen. Those two are going to have to take a stop and go. And they're going to drop far, far, far behind. Scott Overton now running in 4th place. Chris Benson still in 5th despite the contact. Lucas Calhoun and Ethan Collins have cycled into 6th and 7th. 8th place is now Ashley Richardson. 9th place is Thomas Tucker. 10th place is going to be Luke Pellerin whenever the 77 goes into the pits. And after Mac Haley serves his penalty, you see Allison Smith is about to lap him as we are now 45 laps away from the finish. Allison Smith continues to lead away by a large margin. She's starting to increase her margin. Becky Pellerin is running on slightly older tires than Allison Smith because she pitted quite a ways earlier. So Becky Pellerin has older tires, so her fight's not to catch Allison Smith. Her fight's to hold the fort against the 89. Dan Wright has jumped. He started in the back of the field. He's now in 10th place, chasing down the 88 of Luke Pellerin. Charlie Faulkner right behind there. Caution is out. As you see, Vernon Hargrove has jumped all the way to 15th place. That race for him was being a disaster. He's now 15th. We're going to have to see what happened with 40 laps to go. Brett Finley battling with Kate Taylor, and he spins off the rear of Kate Richler. Complete racing incident. And that's the 10th caution of this event. And you see the trouble happening there. A lot of trouble with HQS Racing with Riley McKee and Caitlin Richler. Restart with 34 laps to go now. Smith hanging on, holding station in the lead, which she cycled into on a complete gamble. And that gamble paid off. The gamble paid off. I have no idea what's happening right now. 33 laps to go, and we have a driver who took over this car because Kip Lemon failed to qualify 3 times, and then he stunk the joint in Las Vegas. David Tyner was so angry as you watched Ashley Richardson 6th place, Lucy Barton jumping out to 16th place. David Tyner was so angry, he fired Kip Lemon after the race at 777 Speedway, and he called up Allison Smith from the modifieds. And I don't think anyone expected Allison Smith to do anything other than be also ran as Hibiki Murata emerges back into the pit. Oh, that's the 11th caution of the afternoon. Hibiki Murata merges in front of Kendra Brittany. That leaves Allison Smith in the lead. Pace car is going to come in. 20 laps to go when the green flag comes out. And I have to reinforce this point. Allison Smith got called up from the modifieds much in the same way Vernon Hargrove got called from the modifieds. She has failed to qualify our last couple of races, not through a fault of her own, but because of the provisional system. Those provisionals have cost her a couple of starts. She could have had more starts. She's only having her 2nd start now, and she's leading the race over a series champion, over the championship leader. Kendra Brittany, a lot of trouble, 27th place. Their car's falling apart at the seams. And she's dropping further and further behind. She's 28th place now. Ronnie Samples into the pits. He does not have enough fuel. He pits and he merges back in front of Becky Pellerin. Pellerin backs up the line. And now Ryan Faulkner's all over Becky Pellerin for that 2nd position. Faulkner to the inside. Overton to the inside. Overton having a fantastic run there in 4th place. Becky Pellerin 15 laps to go. And she does not have enough fuel. She does not have enough fuel. Becky Pellerin to the pits from 2nd place. Not enough fuel. What is happening in Ohio? Becky Pellerin out from 2nd place. The defending champion has a disaster class. And she already is falling apart. Chris Benson now takes the 3rd position. He passed Scott Overton. He's chasing now the 89 as we are with 13 laps to go. Dan Wright has taken 4th place from Scott Overton. Overton just trying to hang on to the fuel he has. Dan Wright started, I think, in last. I think he started in last. If he didn't start in last, he started 34th on back. Lucy Barton has now recovered from stalling to 8th place. She's beating Luke Pellerin right now. She has one of the fastest cars on track right now on new tires, but she's too far away to make an impact on the fight for the lead, but she can finish very well. Lee Schmidt's out of fuel, and he has to pit. And now the questions begin. Does Ryan Faulkner have enough fuel? I think he does. Does Chris Benson have enough fuel? I think he does. Does Allison Smith have enough fuel? I don't know if she does. She comes to lap the 26 of Kendra Brittany. As you see Lee Schmidt merging back on track. Chris Benson running in third place, chasing down Ryan Faulkner. And here comes Ryan Faulkner running there. Contact when Lee Schmidt merges back. That could have ended much worse. We almost had the 13th caution of this race. Chris Benson trying to use the 43 as a pick to make a move on the inside. And Chris Benson's out of fuel. Chris Benson's out of fuel with 8 laps to go. Oh my lord. Mac Hanley out of fuel too. S2 Motorsports, the veterans have stuck the joint and the flag carrying job has fallen to Vernon Hargrove. 5 laps remain and Dan Wright is all over the back of the 89. Chris Benson's in the pits. Mac Hanley has just merged back from the pits. And the battle for second place is now Ryan Faulkner trying to save all the fuel he has. And Dan Wright trying to get a nice result, a surprising result, because in the front of the field, 4 laps to go, about to lap the 26, but Allison Smith has been behind the 26 for the last 10 laps. She's saving as much fuel as she can. Dan Wright right on the behind of the 89 as he comes to lap the 52. Dan Wright got wobbly and coming to the white flag. Dan Wright to the inside. He's gonna use the 52 as a pick to make a pass for second place, and Dan Wright is your new second place on the final lap. But at the front end of the field, white flag is also in the air for Allison Smith. She comes from the modifieds. This was her rookie season on the modifieds. She got called up for this car as an emergency measure, so much so they missed the race in Pikes Peak to give her time to be acclimated to this car. And in her second ever start, Allison Smith's gonna pull the heist of the millennium. Allison Smith wins in Ohio. If anyone at any point told you they'd believe a rookie could win a race with this loaded field, David Tyner Racing was an earshot of winning a race, or that Allison Smith was gonna get this race, or that she'd become the first rookie winner of this season, I would ask that person for stock market tips for the rest of my life, because that's clairvoyance that rivals the gods. Because Allison Smith steals this race on a combination of moxie, a nice strategy call, and a couple of well-timed cautions, and becomes the first rookie to win a race in 2018. This is certainly not just the heist of the century, but the heist of the millennium, because Dan Wright closes in second place for Borussia Racing. Kristen Young, who did the heist of the century at Texas World last year, was very close to upstaging herself winning tonight, but she finishes 7th place, and Ethan Collins finishes the day in 9th place for New England Automotive Technologies. Quite a finish for a race that I doubt many people pinned in their list to expect a series of surprises like that. However, those surprises turn out to be contained, as the championship does not shift a lot. The top 4 drivers in the board, Ryan Faulkner continues to lead, but he does open quite a bit of daylight between himself, Luke Pellerin, and Corbin Dempsey, and Becky Pellerin's subpar performance caused her to lose some 60 points to Faulkner, and this throws her in the middle of that desperate battle with Lucy Barton and Charlie Faulkner for the 4th position. In the Rookie Challenge, Tim Barton's disastrous afternoon does not see her armor breached, but it does see it dented. The gap to Ben Makowski does increase substantially with him failing to qualify, while Kendra Brittany is unable to gain a lot, but she is gaining. While Joey Anderson, by virtue of completing his 4th start in the Challenge Series, not only joins the board, he's now in 4th place, knocking Vernon Hargrove to 5th place, Warren Majeski out of the top 5, while with her win today, Allison Smith joins the top 10. Owner standings continue to be fairly close, with the 69 of Peter Johnson dropping to 21st place, a near shot from the 33 after that marvelous result. Kendra Brittany lost a few points, especially to Vernon Hargrove, who takes the last provisional and has a little cushion to benefit from, provided those performances continue to slowly improve as he comes to grips with a full-bodied car instead of a modified. The Try Hard 500 champion, while a race winner on paper, still has a lot to learn. We'll see how he progresses this season. We're only a third into the season, so we'll not be able to pin who's got it and who's not it. But the picture will get slowly clearer and clearer, however, and the next race might not help too much with clearing that picture just yet. The night after the Indianapolis 500 will be the night where we begin the Primetime Summer Series with the Apollo Solar Energy 440 kW at the Indianapolis Raceway Park. 400 laps will separate the wheat from the chaff, and for the first time in 2018, we'll get to see the throwback paint schemes hit the asphalt. See you next time.